The projects that we have underway in Hancock and Baraga are master plans for resiliency. The Land Information Access Association has been instrumental in this process. What they did for us is they put together a resiliency report which examined did that deeper analysis that we really needed.
We took all the data sets that we can get, not only from the local community, but also from organizations like GLESA, to come up with what are the potential impacts of climate change within those communities.
The types of data that we brought into this master plan, which has made it a little bit of a different experience than doing a traditional master plan, is we did a series of interviews with some experts, the local DNR, the tribe, other community members that have insight into the community. And we examined what the potential impacts of different climate-related changes would be on the natural resources, plant life, animal life.
Those reports are essentially incorporated into the goals and objectives and action plan of the master plan, which is essentially the guiding document for that community.
And that information was incredibly valuable because it's a more holistic approach to examining what the future might be for a community.
Planners shouldn't be in the position to try to, I think, identify the key sort of physical changes. That's where universities can really come into play, or local branches, particular federal entities like NOAA. They are excellent at telling you what they think the key changes will be.
GLESA has summarized historical climate information at the scale of climate divisions, which are roughly the size of a couple of counties across all of the Great Lakes states. And we find that those resources, which we call station climatologies or division climatologies, are really useful for getting the conversation started and for getting people up to speed on the present state of our climate.
The climate data is kind of the first step. And once we get that climate data, we work with the community to say, well, what do these impacts mean from you? Because it's the citizens and the people who work in that community who know what that is firsthand. So we talk with public officials and we talk with the Public Works Department, who knows how many times we've had a severe rain event and what are the impacts from an infrastructure standpoint in that community.
One of the things that has come up recently with the communities that they're noticing already with climate change is the fact that they're having shorter winters. And so that's really impacting their economic activity around winter sports. The other thing that has come up is their inland lakes are drying up. And so they used to have a lot of activity around vacationers coming to those inland lakes, and now those are going away. So they're really concerned about that.
Communities are becoming more prepared because they are seeing changes, and there are huge responsibilities on coastal communities to make the right decisions. The information is complex, and I think it's the duty of scientists and engineers to put that in a context that is easily understandable by local communities and in a context that is most meaningful to them.
The data is ready, especially the observations are there, they're trustworthy. They've already shown us that change is happening, and the model data is also consistent with a lot of what we've already seen, so there's enough evidence to move forward. There's no reason to be waiting. It's just a matter of coming together with the right team of people to really start tackling some of these problems, which really just requires motivation on the part of those cities and on the part of planners.
For those planners who are not familiar with climate change or the idea of resilience, it's not overly complicated. I think looking at the data that's available is a good start to that. And then talking to your community. Again, the civic engagement is a huge piece of this. You're gonna find out from your municipal staff and citizens and stakeholders what are the things they're already doing to address resilience or that uncertain change that might come about.
I would encourage planners to not let this certainty issue stop the conversation, because we do lots of things every day that we're not certain about. And certainly planners have a long history in economic development that brings great uncertainty. So if we can do that, I believe that we can easily talk about climate, but focus people on what's going to happen where they live and what we need to do to know and anticipate sort of those changes.